Okay, welcome back guys, and since Roblox is still down, I'm kind of forced to use my voice again. And with this, I wanted to talk about a little bit more than Roblox. You know, I make mostly Roblox content, but I do tend to branch out a little bit into like FNF, a little bit of other Roblox games, you know. I like more things other than YBA and JoJo. And so today I wanted to talk about the importance of the corruption mod in FNF, of course. Now, this mod is obviously a very big mod. Many people know of it. It's loved by many people. Phantom Fear is an amazing developer, and his team has done an amazing job with the mod. But I want to talk about why it's so special. Why it's so important, almost necessary to grow Friday Night Funkin'. Now, obviously, it could exist without it, but it did boost its growth, I would say, a lot. And this is for a couple of reasons. Now, for this, we kind of have to go back to where it all began. You know, where did the start for FNF and FNF corruption start? Like, when did it start picking up? And for FNF corruption, this starts at week 5, when we were first seeing Girlfriend's corrupted head on a tree. And this first all started with just simply Phantom Fear just making, you know, full body corrupted girlfriend, then full body corrupted boyfriend. And then he was like, well, obviously I don't know its thought process, but it seems though he was like, I almost want to make a zombie-esque Friday Night Funkin' version. And so he made versus Pico. Now this week was very simple, not any new songs, just remixes. Not even all the remixes were made by him from what I know. I know one is a KMX remix. And this popped off automatically. Even the videos before this were doing amazing because it's something the Friday Night Funkin' community hadn't seen all too much of. We hadn't seen too many scary mods. This was something new. I think at that time we only had the pumpkin pie mod. So like, you know, this was a very new and big, interesting idea that people love. You know, obviously people eat up zombies in the media. They just love it, you know, absolute play on words with what I just said there. But people love zombies. It's horrifying, you know, the spread of infection and not being able to reverse it. You know, it makes immunity seem so important. And this will come in a big important part of the factor up to why its growth later during the video. So for now, I want to start on Pico's week, or technically week 1 for the corruption mod. Now with this, it shows at first Pico going against 2 corrupted people. Now, we have no backstory on this, but as the week carries on, we see obviously you can't beat Boyfriend, which would make sense since he is the player and every time he loses, he just resets. A lot like Undertale or just any video game where you can reset. Now, obviously Pico starts getting corrupted because he's losing, and this is where we learn that if you don't win the rap battle, you start getting corrupted unless you have a special ability. Almost like an immunity or a resistance, but we'll save that for later. Now, of course, Pico does actually hold him off, and it appears as though the corruption starts out weak, but the more people it corrupts, it actually becomes stronger. Now, this will become important way later, but for now, we can see Pico, someone who obviously is just the first character. I mean, he has a gun, but he doesn't use it, and he actually is able to partly uncorrupt Boyfriend, which is a very big thing, but it's smaller than you think for the time. Because this is when the corruption obviously first started spreading, meaning that it was probably not nearly as strong as it was by, well, about Mommy Mearest or Daddy Dearest this week. And so after this, we see corrupted Pico. He inevitably fails. He does do good, but he eventually does lose. Now, after this, we move on to Skid and Pump. Now, this is where the mod started gaining so much leverage, so much love and support. And the reason is, the remixes were horrifying. The background was changed. We had a red background, like a red sunset, a yellowish moon, I want to say. Then we had Lemon Demon outside, which alluded to so many theories, opening up the fandom to way more. Theories is what grows a fandom. And Phantom Fear perfectly did this. And so he made this week special because it of course had the horror remixes of South and Spookiez, which matched the theme of corruption mod pretty well. And then we got to the final song, and this was the first we have ever heard of a custom song. And it's Chiller, and it is still to this day one of the most popular Friday Night Funkin' songs. It is amazingly composed. The emotion you can feel through Skid. You can see that he's horrified, he's crying, he doesn't want to leave his friend, but it doesn't matter to the corruption. And he does inevitably fall, just like the others. Now this leads us to the next week, which has two twists. Not only do we fight Mommy Mearest, which is obviously a very big character, she not only has all new songs, new composed amazing songs, but she's actually not fighting against Boyfriend, but Pico. Now this is special for a couple reasons, because it changes the main character, but it also shows the corruption is growing, because we see Mommy Mearest, someone who's obviously better at singing than Pico, is barely able to uncorrupt him, while someone like Pico, it was able to almost halfway uncorrupt Boyfriend. And this almost shows that pretty much the more the corruption grows through people, the stronger it becomes and the harder it becomes to stop. And so the songs all are great, they're amazing songs. Please go check them out. I'll link Phantom Fear's channel in the description below, maybe even a pinned comment. But after this, the background does change during the week. Normally it's just, from what I know, Pico and Mommy Mearest, and then on the very last song, Milk, Mother I'd Like to Kill, if anyone doesn't know that, it shows even the henchmen are corrupt now. It shows that it's spreading just if you're in the area, it seems like, which is horrifying, because it shows us to believe that it's definitely not our just main cast, but everyone is probably being corrupted by this, and it's horrifying. It's very much like a zombie apocalypse. And after Mom is slowly taken down, also, I'll just say this now instead of saving it for later, her corruption design is beautiful. I love it. It's very unique. Thank you, Phantom Fear. Beautiful work. Now we go on to where it gets really interesting, and some big changes happen. We move on to Senpai, and this wonders, well, can Senpai be corrupted? Because he's obviously he's just the AI in the game. But there's also Spirit. Can Spirit be corrupted? Will they remove Spirit? This is all things when we start the week. But it shows that Boyfriend and Girlfriend aren't corrupted in the beginning, or so it seems. They get into the week with their normal models, but as the first song keeps going, we see them start glitching out. And through the second song, we see Boyfriend almost start showing a dark, evil figure coming out of his face, but it doesn't look corrupted. It's not dark purple and a pinkish color, it's black and white, which is weird. And we see Girlfriend also starting to look the same, but more realistic. It's very glitchy and it's very scary. The second song gives off a very horrifying feel. Like, you can feel how Senpai is starting to get really worried as to what's going on. Now on the third song, Senpai starts to break. You can see that the stress is wearing him down. He just wants them to go. He no longer wants to just save Girlfriend. He just wants them gone. He knows what they're trying to do. They are trying to delete the game and him with it. Although we haven't really got an answer as to why they wanted to go after Senpai so bad to delete him and not just leave him in a TV. Hopefully we'll get these answers one day though. Now as we see, Senpai starts breaking parts of the song. His voice starts getting glitchy, as well as Boyfriend starting to show more of his darkish, corrupted form, and Girlfriend is also showing that, although she's definitely not showing it as much. Mainly because I'm assuming because she's not actually corrupting or killing, she's just kind of sitting there. Now, during the song, Senpai starts glitching out not only with his voice, but flashes of spirit come out for a second. But he doesn't look normal, he looks driven to madness. And it would make sense after thinking you're going to lose everything and there's no escape to this monster, even more of a monstrosity than yourself. And then it gets to the final song. And this song, amazing. Roots is an amazing song. The background changes to all gray and white, just an absolute meltdown of just basic bland colors. And it goes so well with the theme of the week. And we see a psycho version of Spirit. He's lost all care and he's like, screw it, I don't care. I'm going down. I cannot beat you, but I'm gonna take you down with me. Now obviously we know he does not take down corrupted boyfriend, but it appears as though he takes down corrupted girlfriend. She's gone. We do not see her in any other part of the week or any part of the mod from what we know. Now it ends up being a great song. Senpai slowly breaks down, then the game shuts down. You know, just gone. Senpai deleted, Spirit gone. They're all gone. And boyfriend has escaped. But definitely it seems though he's lost girlfriend. This moves us to the second to newest week, being the versus dad week. Now this week hit extremely hard for me, and I think it was done probably the best of the weeks. Maybe not the most effort put in, but definitely it felt the most emotional. We can see in Daddy Dearest's face how much despair and sorrow he's in. Like, he's crouched over, but we can still see he has a little bit of determination left to try and save his family. Now you can see flashes of determination in his eye where he gets that power back for a second, but he can't keep it for long because overall everything he's known and loved is kind of shattered. And then we get to Dusk in the second song. You know, he does get corrupted, but it's a lot less than the normal people we've been seeing get corrupted. Pico, he was like half corrupted in the second song. Skid Pump also half corrupted. Mommy Mearest was like a third of the way corrupted, but Daddy Dearest only seems to be 1/8 of the way maybe. He's very less corrupted than the others, and at the end of his song, which very great song, beatboxing, great use of, thank you. His eyes flash for a second and it says no more games. And if you scroll down to the description, you can see Daddy Dearest has the ability to reverse corruption upon himself. Now from what we know, you can reverse corruption on other people, but you have to win. It appears as though Daddy Dearest doesn't need to win to uncorrupt himself. Now this is a big thing. It's almost like an immunity, which if you've played any zombie game, it's a very big thing. And another thing with this week is we see Daddy Dearest being the hero, something very unusual. He's almost always a villain, but in this week we feel bad for him. They portray him amazingly as to what he's gone through without even having dialogue. And now we get to the final song, and many people's favorites, which is Deathmatch. Great name. This song, it's sad. Daddy Dearest finally goes all out. He reverses almost all the corruption off of his body. His eyes, he's full of determination to finally just push forward and beat boyfriend. And he tries his hardest, and he almost succeeds. He actually makes boyfriend have to start using other corrupted people to gang up on Daddy Dearest. They put in Pico, Skid and Pump, and so far it's not even changing. Daddy Dearest isn't getting more corrupted, and corrupted boyfriend realizes this, and so he pulls what I call a massive dick move. He brings in Mommy Mearest, corrupted Mommy Mearest, and this being Daddy Dearest's wife, this crushes him, knowing the one he loved the most is now gone, and it crushes his determination. It's such a dick move, and he could have won, but this simple move just destroys him emotionally. And you can hear his voice no longer has like a little change around. You can hear it in a different tone. It sounds more withered, just out. It's just gone. There's no more soul to it. He's given up. And Mommy Mearest starts corrupting him. She puts her little corruption strings around him, and then corrupted boyfriend comes back to finish the job. And sadly, even unexpected for many, Daddy Dearest falls to corruption just like the others. But he did succeed in one part. He might have not been able to beat boyfriend, but he was such a difficult foe, he was able to awaken boyfriend's consciousness inside of him. And this starts the week of Soul BF or Evil BF versus boyfriend, just normal boyfriend. And we wake up in boyfriend's mind, presumably. We can see him versus a darkened figure, almost like the one that battled Senpai, but definitely not the same. Although at first we do believe it's the same one, with the song's name being Tormentor, obviously seeming like Soul BF is the one who caused all of this. You know, he's saying mean things, but it's only encouraging boyfriend, and we see at the end of the song, he's becoming uncorrupted. Now this hasn't happened for weeks, and this is a very big thing. Next song, we see he's maybe not the bad guy. We hear him say, "This isn't my doing," almost like he's trying to help boyfriend uncorrupt himself, which would make sense if he is boyfriend's consciousness. And then we see boyfriend get depressed, but it appears as though Soul BF knows how to make him happy, know how to inspire him, which makes a lot of sense as he's Soul BF, he's boyfriend's soul. And then we get to the final part of the song, and boyfriend fades into the darkest depths of his mind, presumably where the corruption resides in his head, and he becomes in a deep depression, thinking about how he's lost everything. And this leads us to the newest and final song, Discharge. Now it shows boyfriend slowly singing, just wishing for hope, but the corruption itself is speaking to him, telling him to give up. But boyfriend doesn't. He has a little bit of determination, and he is able to bring Soul BF in there. And Soul BF, he's instantly like, "Yo, homie, I gotta get you out of this. We gotta beat this together." And he throws him a guitar, hits him in the head. Little mean, but hey, it's boyfriend. What can I say? He's kind of an asshole. And it leads them to team up, and they do great. It's an amazing song. They team up. They're both inspired. But the corruption does start taking a hold of boyfriend again. It's like, oh, your friends and family, you'll never see them again. But then Soul BF is also trying to fight it. Come on, like, BF, you gotta push through it. We gotta do this. And it leads on for a little bit, but eventually BF and Soul BF are able to overpower it. But the corruption says one very key line that makes me think that they're most likely going to use girlfriend's possible death against him. They say, "You will regret this betrayal," which is horrifying. It leads us to think that the corruption might have another thing up its sleeve to take boyfriend back. But that doesn't matter currently. So they keep on going and they push forward, and eventually they are able to break out of the dark depths, and then they just fully, presumably uncorrupt boyfriend. Now this leads us to the next week that has not been released yet, but I would like to theorize on what it will be. It's called Escape, the Escape Week, which is interesting because you think it would be the healing week or something like that, you know, like healing all the corruption, but it's not, it's escaping. Which makes me think they're gonna try to do what they did with Daddy Dearest, but against boyfriend. Thing is, I don't think boyfriend can canonically lose, because he's kind of the main character, but I mean, he probably can. We still don't know the origins of the corruption mod, but presumably it is the Lemon Demon, or the monster, whatever you want to call him. And we see, well, nothing yet, sorry, we don't see anything. But we can presume that the last week, or presumably the last week, it has not been announced to be the last week, will be boyfriend uncorrupting everyone while trying to not get corrupted himself. And then maybe, possibly the last song might be against the big boss himself, Lemon Demon. Now I think this would be interesting. Knowing Phantom Fear, he might go all out. He might make a whole new corruption song, like with the Lemon Demon's actual vocals, like the Neo mod and the D-Sides mod have done, and I would love to see that. So I'm absolutely hyped for the new week. I know it's probably not going to come out for another 3 weeks, but hey, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be great. I can't wait. But with that, it leads us to the end of this. So thank you for watching. Like and sub if you will. If you have anything you want to say, please comment down below, and well, I guess until the next video, peace out guys, have a great day.